Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to me, Mom, and Dad. It is March, and it is St. Patrick's Day celebration. I am near Savannah, and St. Patrick's celebrations go for at least a week or two. So Tuesday will be St. Patrick's Day, and celebration is in the air. So we will share some recipes. I'm going to share Irish potatoes, and you're going to love it. It's a candy, and my mom would do these for us when we were younger, and we still love them. So I will share some Irish potatoes, and I will share some curry chicken, and I haven't done banana bread in a long time. So let's do that. Me, Mom, and Dad, for those who are new to our podcast, my dad was diagnosed with podcasts years ago, and we always wanted to share positive things that we learned about his Parkinson's, and we shared with the Parkinsons community. And it grew into us sharing recipes because we always tried to find ways to keep my dad's joy up through his symptoms. And so there are cooks in our family, from my mom training my brother and sister and myself. And that's how we started sharing the recipes. And we've been doing this podcast for some years now. And there you go, me, Mom, and Dad. My dad passed away a few years ago, but he did make he did do some podcasts with us in the past. So we continue to do it, my mother and I. So let's start, as I'm shuffling the paper, forgive me, with the Irish potatoes. It's a candy. It's very, very sweet, but we love them. It involves coconut, cream cheese. You will need 4 ounces of cream cheese, softened, half cup of butter, softened, 4 cups of confectioner's sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla, excuse me, 2.5 cups of flaked coconut, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. These are very, very sweet. So if you like sweet, kind of like, if you like the Mounds candy, they're sweeter than that, but I love Mounds candy, but these are delicious. If you love a lot of sweet, but they are very sweet. And some people love them, and some people are like, oh, it's too strong for me. But try Irish potatoes. What you do is you beat cream cheese and butter together in a large bowl until smooth. Add confectioner's sugar, and your vanilla. Beat until smooth. Mix in flaked coconut. It's so easy. Then you roll into balls, and you roll the balls in cinnamon. Yeah. Place onto a cookie sheet and chill to set at least 10 minutes. So good, my friends. So good. So they're like, little brown balls of coconut and goodness. I love them. So that's Irish potatoes. Happy St. Patrick's. Okay, here's the banana bread. We've been using this recipe. The same recipe works for us. It is 2 cups of flour you will need, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, 4 very ripe bananas. And, the bananas, those who are cooks know about when you make banana bread, you want the blackest bananas you can find. So if you go, those who don't cook, I always have learned to explain my recipes because my friends say, we don't cook here. You have to explain these things. So you get your bananas, and if they're not quite ripe, then you put them in a bag for a couple days, and they get really nice brown and black. And those are the sweetest. Those are the best bananas for banana bread. And sometimes in the market, they have these areas where they will sit ripe fruit and especially bananas. So, like Kroger's always had a section where the really black bananas would be sitting. So that's what you want to do with those. You want 4 very ripe bananas, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And speaking of this vanilla, my mom and I have been around this time every year. We did it last year. We will make our own vanilla. And it requires vodka and vanilla bean. Vanilla bean, they come in like sticks. What am I calling it? Vanilla bean. You can order them on Amazon, or you can go in the store and just get vanilla bean. I'm leaving out a name, but I'm saying vanilla bean. And they come in like, they look like long sticks. And you slice the sticks open, and the vanilla bean paste comes out of the vanilla bean. But when you're doing the vodka, you don't need to slice it open. I'm going too fast with the vanilla bean situation. You just get vanilla bean, you order on Amazon, and they're long sticks. You place them in the vodka. We get jars of, just to make the vanilla, we would order like bottles that seal up really tight. And we put the vanilla bean sticks in the vodka, and you sit them in a cabinet in a dark area, and they sit for months. And you'll see the vodka get darker and darker over month after month, and it's the best vanilla ever. What? When I worked on cruise ships, I would bring vanilla, the best vanilla from Mexico, like Cozumel, Mexico, and I would bring it's the best vanilla, very strong. And then when COVID happened, I couldn't bring the liquids home anymore. So we do our own vanilla that way with the vodka, vanilla bean, and over months. Got 2 bottles under the cabinet now. It's the best vanilla. So back to the cooking. That's the best vanilla to bake with. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. After the 4 very ripe bananas, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, a half cup of vegetable oil. This recipe, some banana bread requires butter, but we like this recipe because it's an oil recipe and it's very, very moist, the banana bread. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we like to add walnuts, chopped walnuts. You don't have to add the walnuts, but we like walnuts in ours. So all you do is preheat the oven 350 degrees. In a medium bowl, combine flour, baking soda and powder, baking soda and baking powder, salt. In a large bowl, cream together eggs and sugar. Stir in mashed bananas. You want to mash those bananas. Vanilla, oil, and cinnamon. Easy peasy. Stir in flour mixture a third at a time until just combined. Divide batter into 2 9x5 loaf pans. Bake for about 1 hour. It says about 1 hour because depending on your oven, when you go, you open the oven and you check your banana bread. Sometimes you'll notice they'll be shaking. Like the batter will still be shaking. So you want to let it cook more. And so, depending on your oven, after an hour, your batter might still be baking. So you need to cook a few minutes more until you stick a toothpick in the middle, or we use a toothpick, a tester, some kind of baking tool that you stick in the middle of the batter. And if it comes out clean, when you stick the toothpick in the middle, if the toothpick is clean, it's done. But if you stick the toothpick in the middle and it comes out with batter on it, then you got to cook more. Tomorrow we are going to cook some curry chicken. And this is an easy recipe. I have made curry chicken before and done a long version. This is a quick, delicious version. Rotisserie chicken. Go to Kroger's, go to Publix, grab a rotisserie chicken, and you need curry. You need chopped onion, chopped garlic, coconut milk, a can of coconut milk, chicken stock, a little bit of honey, and desired sriracha. I can't put sriracha. I put sriracha in because my mom suffers from acid reflux. But I will put it to the side and add some hot sauce or sriracha to mine. But if you can handle the sriracha, so here you go. You will do about a little bit of melted butter in the saucepan. Let's say half tablespoon. Okay, go for the tablespoon. And melt the butter. Chopped onion in your butter with the garlic. Stir around a little bit. Don't let your garlic burn. And then you shake up the can of coconut milk. Shake it first because coconut milk can separate in the can once it sits on the counter for a while. So shake it up and before you open it, and then have it already open when you're doing the butter and the onion and the garlic. Let the garlic saute for a minute. You don't want it to burn, so then pour your coconut milk into the onion and the garlic. Pour in about a half cup of chicken stock. Pour in about a little bit of honey. Just drizzle some honey in there. And if, again, you want your sriracha, cut up your chicken. You should have done that first. Cut up your chicken off your rotisserie chicken, the breast, and some of those brown meats. So if that's already cut up, add to I forgot the curry powder. Hello. I know, sometimes I'm doing these recipes on my head. Curry powder, let's go back to the beginning. We have thyme, chop garlic, chop onion into the butter. Then you take about a tablespoon, a good amount of curry, about a tablespoon of curry into the garlic and the onion. Then pour your coconut milk. Then pour your chicken stock. Drizzle some honey. Yes, you gotta have the curry. and it just turns. And sometimes I'll add like a little more than a tablespoon of the curry because I like the color of the beautiful curry color. Sometimes you see it a little more yellowy, and sometimes curry's a little like yellowy orangey. So tablespoonish of the curry, and stir it all up in there. Your chicken stock and all of that is good. Then you add your rotisserie chicken and just let it simmer for like 3 to 5 minutes. Easy peasy. Like I said before, sometimes I'll do a long version of chicken curry. And that's where you're broiling the chicken. But we're not doing that right now. Yay. Curry chicken, Irish potatoes. What? Banana bread, my friends. Yes. Happy St. Patrick's. Like I said, I live near Savannah, just really down the street. And St. Patrick's is huge around here, St. Patrick's Day. It goes for a week or two. And it's just, you can feel it in the air. It's so big that they have off school Monday and Tuesday. I know I tell some of my friends from other states, and they're like, what? No school? Yep. It's so big, and it's just beautiful. And of course, there's a big parade. There's New York, Chicago, and Savannah, the 3 biggest. And sometimes Savannah, we're like number 1 in the country, and thousands of people come. And Savannah has a riverfront kind of similar to New Orleans, and it's just a beautiful season, St. Patrick's. So do some Irish potatoes. As I said before, me, Mom, and Dad, and Parkinson's, we started with my dad and his Parkinson's, and so I always want to share with the Parkinsons community. I am on social media, especially on Facebook. I'm friends with the Parkinsons community, Michael J. Fox, Parkinsons, and there's several Parkinsons groups. And I read the comments, and again, there was a lady, someone on one of the Parkinson's groups wanted to know when they should take the Parkinson's medication. And as I've said on almost all of the episodes, corticodopa, levodopa is the name of most of the Parkinson's meds. My dad was on corticodopa, levodopa. And they wanted to know when they should take, because that's the big issue is the doctors try to tell, but every person's body is different. We gave my dad his meds on an empty stomach, and we found that out the hard way, because at first he couldn't walk in the beginning, not at all. And so I always tried to share. The best way is probably to try taking that on an empty stomach. So we gave my dad's meds, corticodopa, levodopa, on an empty stomach 2 hours before he'd eat a meal. So his first meal was breakfast. We woke him up at 5 a.m. and gave him the corticodopa, levodopa. And that was an empty stomach, and he'd go back to sleep. And we continued that with lunch, 2 hours before he'd eat lunch. And it made a big difference, and I always try to share that, because you don't know. Our doctor in the beginning, he wrote out a schedule. The very, very beginning when my dad was diagnosed, he wrote down an hour, like 30 minutes to an hour before breakfast. So we thought, okay, we'll follow what he is saying, thinking that was the Bible. And not to say that the doctor was wrong. He was just, again, everybody's body makeup is different. And he just kept falling down and couldn't walk. And I called the office one day, and because we were terrified. And the nurse said, look, you need to give it to him 2 hours before. And she's the one that said, the nurse practitioner. And so, yeah, that's what we do. That's what we did. And another thing I saw was a comment. Someone asked about, is B12 or B12 supplements good for Parkinson's? I did give my dad B12, the kind where there's a pill you put up under the tongue, and it would dissolve slowly. And that did seem to give him some oomph. I did do because Parkinson's, fatigue, one of the symptoms, fatigue is huge symptom. So we did give my dad B12 supplements, especially ones under the tongue that would dissolve slowly into his system. And I read caffeine was good. So we did try to give my dad a cup of coffee in the morning, too. That gave him some oomph. But my dad had high blood pressure. He was a little guy. He was petite, but high blood pressure he inherited from his dad. He had it pretty bad. And so the caffeine was tricky. I even had to cut his cup of coffee to half a cup of coffee because we would check his blood pressure throughout the day. And, yeah. But if you don't have high blood pressure, I read on, I believe, Michael J. Fox's website, just his different articles about caffeine. Was it good for Parkinson's patients? And it was good for my dad. Like I said, gave him some oomph. And my dad did take a multiple vitamin every day as well. So we give him a cup of coffee and a multiple vitamin, which my mom and I do a multiple vitamin as well. So, yeah. I try to share different things to the Parkinson's community because those were my dad tried to live, he lived a fruitful life with Parkinson's. There were days where, it was challenging, wasn't all, perfect, but we tried to keep him happy, and those supplements and meds on an empty stomach were the fruitful things that helped him. Exercise is the key as well. My dad worked out. He went to the gym. He rode the stationary bike and walked on the treadmill. And moving was huge. And I hope you do the same, my friends. Moving, try to get up, do something. We would go walking in the park. And exercise is the key to not be having your body freeze and having tremors. We would do some of the boxing techniques, just punching. And you got to move. Empty stomach, meds, exercise was huge for my dad. Get up, just even if you start with a few steps of walking, it was huge for my dad. That's what kept him fruitful. Also, the hallucinations I was reading about. I'll talk about that on the next. My dad did start with some terrifying hallucinations, but we got through that. I talked about it on some previous episodes. My brother started us with, when the episodes were really bad, of him seeing things that weren't there, and we just started. My dad was a pastor and a reverend, so we grew up with loving the Lord and having faith. And my brother said, Tia, just every night have a prayer. You, Mom, and Dad. And we did that, and that got us through it. I guess that really spoke to my dad. So, yeah. All of the things, my friends. Please subscribe to this podcast. If you look at the top of the page, you'll see it looks like a Wi-Fi type of icon. And that's where you click to subscribe. Thank you so much for listening, my friends. Enjoy the recipes. And thank you for listening. Enjoy the music.